It particularly caused stress when I got the NOI and a notice of investigation out of the blue, out of nowhere. It was in the middle of COVID and Dee had been having more and more illnesses. She's got a lot of underlying health conditions, Dee, my wife. The stroke is only the latest of them. And I actually told the Labour Party that and they paid absolutely no attention.
You're a carer.
Yeah, I'm a registered carer with our county council, our social services. I'm a 24/7 carer, and the Labour Party don't consider it important.
They just told you to get in touch with the Samaritans. I mean, Mike's son was absolutely aghast. He said, how can Dad be accused of being anti-Semitic? He's Jewish.
What tends to hurt one in life is when people who you think are on your side let you down. That's what I thought in my constituency. People I've known for years locally, particularly Jews, but not only Jews, who cross over the road when they see me. People whose children played with ours. Someone more or less even spat in my face. And people making me feel physically threatened, particularly a couple of women. It's hateful. I hate it. I find myself dodging. I see someone in the bank, I think, I'm not going in the bank. I don't want to see the look of hate on their face. It frightens me. And it makes me mad with anger and misery.
There was one period where I barely slept for 3 days straight. I already had depression, but the Labour Party definitely did exacerbate it. It's not very nice when you are, mentally ill, to have people shouting at you that you are not a real Jew or that you hate your own people.
Depression. Oh God, yeah.
I tell my daughter and our son to get off social media. People talking about burning me alive, to hang me, stab me.
That had a deep effect on Val and a deep effect on me. The allegations against Val split me from my family. And the only way I could really get back to them is to accept that Val is not welcome and God functions without her. That's the equivalent of crossing a picket line. I won't do that.
Politics got in the way.
When we speak, the first thing we talk about is political assessment.
And then we say, oh, how are you? But there are times when my blackness and Phil's perspective, he cannot walk in my shoes. We just have to accept that there are differences between us. But then, how many relationships has been tested the way we've been tested?
How do I feel being accused of anti-Semitism as a Jew? I'm horrified. It's irrational. It's Alice in Wonderland. I mean, in my case, the evidence is so flaky. I mean, what are they talking about?
After I overturned the first suspension and got reinstated, I realised I was suffering trauma from that first experience. So I went to counselling. I've had a few wobbles, a few sleepless nights, stuff like that. But I'm like, fuck 'em.
My niece, who asked how I could support Corbyn, a man who had placed a wreath on Hitler's grave. Hitler doesn't have a grave. And my nephew, he and I used to be close. He found life in his family to be problematic, so I kept an eye on him when he was doing his A-levels, he and his mum. And then they got into a spiral of argument, so I said he could come and stay with me for a few days if that would help. So he came, and a few days turned into months. He did his A-levels from my house. We would spend hour after hour throwing a ball in the garden just to help him calm down. And even after his university, we would meet every week. He would initiate it. I was teaching in Canterbury, and he would come down from London to see me pretty well every week. And then around the time of the 2019 election, He said, I can't meet you. Why not? I asked. And he said, because you support that anti-Semite, Jeremy Corbyn. You're his chief supporter. Haven't seen him since. I still love him, but he's cut off the possibility of support.